What? We're not eating animals.
Do you hear me?
What? Sorry, what?
This is disgusting. It's people like you that are killing this planet.
What do you mean?
You're killing all the animals, you're eating them.
Well, no,
I mean, that's disgusting. Who do you think you are?
So,
Those poor animals. You're
What
eating
animals?
flesh. How can you eat flesh from an animal?
Hold a minute, love. Hold a
No,
minute.
there's no get. No. Do you listen to me?
No, I'm
There's
listening.
nothing right about eating an animal.
No, but
these animals have feelings. They've got emotions.
Can I talk? Can I talk? Can I talk?
No.
Can I talk?
Just
first of all, yeah, we're not eating an animal. The animal is dead. Two,
it's dead because you're eating its flesh.
No, but it's not like I'm eating it alive, is it?
But you've had an animal killed so that you can eat it.
No, it's not like I ordered the animal to be dead. It's not like I called the butcher.
But people like you are the reason these animals get killed.
How is it?
They get killed because you eat their flesh.
No,
if there wasn't a demand, there wouldn't be a reason to kill them, and you are part of that demand.
No, I'm not.
You're
part of
the one
demand.
that is making
Oh,
them
actually,
be killed.
hold on a minute here. You're wearing a leather coat.
What's that got to do with it?
You,
I'm not eating flesh, am
But
I?
you're wearing
I'm
it.
not eating
You're
an
wearing
animal's
it.
flesh.
you're wearing it. That's even worse.
No, it's not worse.
At
Animals
least we're
wear
eating
leather.
it. At least we're.
We are in a mass psychosis. Hello to you all. This is a short live, right? Ja, mensen, we leven in een massapsychose. Deze vrouw heeft ook een psychose. En ik vraag me af, I wonder how this woman would react if she would see plants eating animals. This is not a conspiracy theory. Ik vraag me af hoe zij reageert als zij ziet dat planten dieren eten. Dit is geen rare complottheorie. Dit is het leven. Wij zijn eenmaal dieren. We are animals. We are mammals. So, we're going to show you a clip of a plant eating an animal. Ja, we laten een clip zien van een plant die een dier eet. Hier, hungry Venus flytraps. Ja, let's take a look at this here.
The Venus flytrap. Like the sundew, it makes itself very attractive, oozing nectar across the brim of each leaf. But any visiting insect had better watch out for these 6 tiny hairs. This fly has to tread carefully. If it strikes one hair, it can carry on feeding, but a timer has been set. A second strike in less than 20 seconds and the fly is doomed.
How dare you! How dare you be an animal! How dare
An
you!
electrical impulse is triggered and the leaf snaps shut in just a fraction of a second. The tips lock together like prison bars.
How dare you! How dare you eat a fly? Huh? You are a bad plant. You are bad for the environment. Oh my God, man. Really? No, lady, you are in a psychosis. right? You are in a mass psychosis. Let's take a look at that lady again. You are bad. You are eating meat. You are bad. No, lady, you are in a psychosis.
Eating it and then it's getting disposed of. You're keeping it and preserving it.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you are.
Animals
That's
wear
leather.
this.
Animals
okay?
don't wear leather coats.
Yes, they do. They wear their skin.
Whenever
okay?
have you seen a dog wear a leather jacket?
No, you are eating. The reason why they get killed
Actually,
is because of
technically,
you.
I'm not actually eating anything. Is actually they're actually eating it.
Are the reason that animals get killed.
Well, like there's a little kid over there
this,
eating. You're gonna.
This is because you had an animal killed.
Okay.
So I'm using the skin that you
so
had.
So it's my fault.
Yes.
Oh, how dare you eat meat? Oh, you are bad. You are bad. But do you criticize a plant eating a fly? Do you criticize that? You are bad for eating meat. You must be a veggie like me. No, I'm not going into your mass psychosis. And that is not a theory, right? It's not a theory. It's something that happened in history. Now, let's take a look at this clip here. Mass psychosis, how an entire population becomes mentally ill. Now, that female is mentally ill.
This after-school presentation was written and narrated by Academy of Ideas. Check out their YouTube channel for more of their videos. The masses have never thirsted after truth. They turn aside from evidence that is not to their taste, preferring to deify error if error seduced them. Whoever can supply them with illusions is easily their master. Whoever attempts to destroy their illusions is always their victim. According to the psychologist Carl Jung, the greatest threat to civilization lies not with the forces of nature, nor with any physical disease, but with our inability to deal with the forces of our own psyche. We are our own worst enemies, or as the Latin proverb puts it, man is a wolf to man. In Civilization in Transition, Jung states that this proverb is a sad yet eternal truism, and our wolf-like tendencies come most prominently into play at those times of history when mental illness becomes the norm rather than the exception in a society, a situation which Jung termed a psychic epidemic. Indeed, it is becoming ever more obvious, he writes, that it is not famine, not earthquakes, not microbes, not cancer, but man himself, who is man's greatest danger to man, for the simple reason that there is no adequate protection against psychic epidemics, which are infinitely more devastating than the worst of natural catastrophes. In this video, we are going to explore the most dangerous of all psychic epidemics, the mass psychosis. A mass psychosis is an epidemic of madness, and it occurs when a large portion of a society loses touch with reality and descends into delusions. Such a phenomenon is not a thing of fiction. Two examples of mass psychoses are the American and European witch hunts of the 16th and 17th centuries, and the rise of totalitarianism in the 20th century. During the witch hunts, thousands of individuals, mostly women, were killed, not for any crimes they committed, but because they became the scapegoats of societies gone mad. In some Swiss villages, writes Francis Hill, there were scarcely any women left alive after the frenzy had finally burned itself out. When a mass psychosis occurs, the results are devastating. Jung studied this phenomenon and wrote that the individuals who make up the infected society become morally and spiritually inferior. They sink unconsciously to an inferior intellectual level. They become more unreasonable, irresponsible, emotional, erratic, and unreliable, and worst of all, crimes the individual alone could never stand are freely committed by the group smitten by madness. What makes matters worse is that those suffering from a mass psychosis are unaware of what is occurring. For just as an individual gone mad cannot step out of his mind to observe the errors in his ways, so too there is no Archimedean point from which those living through a mass psychosis can observe their collective madness. But what causes a mass psychosis? To answer this question, we must first explore what drives an individual mad. While there are many potential triggers of madness, such as an excessive use of drugs or alcohol, brain injuries, and other illnesses, these physical causes will not concern us here. Our concern is with psychological, or what are called psychogenic triggers, as these are the most common culprits of the mass psychosis. The most prevalent psychogenic cause of a psychosis is a flood of negative emotions, such as fear or anxiety, that drives an individual into a state of panic. When in a state of panic, an individual will naturally seek relief, as it is too mentally and physically draining to subsist in this hyper-emotional state. While escaping from the state of panic can be accomplished through adaptive means, such as facing up to and defeating the fear-generating threat, another way to escape is to undergo a psychotic break. A psychotic break is not a descent into a state of greater disorder, as many believe, but a reordering of one's experiential world, which blends fact and fiction, or delusions and reality, in a way that helps end the feelings of panic. Silvano Arietti, one of the 20th century's foremost authorities on schizophrenia, explains the psychogenic steps that lead to madness.
Now, this is where we are now, right? We are living under delusions. You think you can beat Russia by supporting Ukraine? No, it's a delusion. It's part of the mass psychosis that we are under, right? Now, the Netherlands is a very small country, and let's see how many times the Netherlands can fit into Russia. We are streaming live from Maastricht, as it's famously known. So let's see. Over here we have the Netherlands, right? And over here we have Russia, right? So do you think by population, we have 17 million people in the Netherlands, 17 plus million people in the Netherlands. Do you think by population we can defeat Russia? Now, Ukraine has a smaller population than Russia, right? Do you think that Ukraine can fight off Russia, even though we supply them with tanks and stuff like that? Do you really think that? Going by population, right? The numbers by population, Russia has overwhelmingly more people to put in this war than Ukraine and the Netherlands combined, right? Now, Russia is also part of the Collective Security Treaty Organization, the CSTO. You think I'm making this up? No, of course not. Over here, you get the truth. That is what is prevalent on RHTVLive, the truth. Hier krijg je de waarheid. Ja? Gezien de populatie veel groter is in Rusland dan Oekraïne en Nederland gecombineerd. Denk je dat Oekraïne deze oorlog gaat winnen? Serieus? Denk je dat echt? Nee, natuurlijk niet. Oekraïne wordt misbruikt. Ja, wordt misbruikt. It's being abused by the Western powers, by putting in a puppet that has anti-Russian sentiments and is fighting off the eastern Ukraine. This is serious stuff. And the Netherlands got involved because there was a plane that flew from the Netherlands all the way. The destination was, I believe, Australia. So you had lots of flights evading Ukraine, right? But our flight flew over it and got shot down. And we blame Russia for that. Het is echt heel triest, mensen. Het is echt heel triest. Maar goed, dit gebeurt allemaal. En de Houthis zijn alweer aangevallen voor de tweede keer vanaf Cyprus. Hebben ze weer aangevallen in Sanaa. En bommen laten vallen en zoiets. So the Houthi rebels are attacked for the second time, right? And dropping some bombs will not help. It will not help. Het zal niet helpen om daar nog een paar bommen even neer te leggen en zoiets allemaal. Dat helpt niet. Dat helpt niet. Als je kijkt naar Iran bijvoorbeeld, er was een schip onlangs meegenomen door Iran, geconfiskeerd door Iran. En de Sint-Nicolaas heette dat schip. En dat was eigenlijk een Iraanse schip. Dus Amerika had dat schip geconfiskeerd, heeft de naam veranderd. En daarvoor een olietanker. Dat was de bestemming van het schip. Je bent een olietanker. Ja, en hupla, Iran neemt die schip dan weer terug. Ja. Dit gebeurt. Hè. Dat is een heel complexe situatie. Maar er moet iemand zijn die dat uitlegt. Ja, en dat ben ik. Helaas ben ik dat. Want ja, andere mensen die hebben het te druk met, weet ik veel, GTS te kijken of zo, weet ik veel. Maar this is happening, you know. So the Gulf of Oman, there was this ship that was taken over by Iran. It was actually an Iranian ship because the US confiscated that ship and gave it another name, and now Iran has that ship again. So, ja mensen, ik verzin het allemaal niet. Dit gebeurt. De CSTO, oh wat een rare complottheorist is die Rogier. Wat een rare complottheorist zeg. Die heeft het over de CSTO. Oh, wat een rare gast. Nou, hier kunnen jullie het zien. De Collective Security Treaty Organization. Dat is dus de Russische variant van de NATO. Er zit Kazachstan bij, Tajikistan, een aantal stands. En zoiets. Dus Armenië zit erbij, Belarus. En nog een paar andere landen. Dus hier kunnen we het zien. En moet je eens voorstellen. Oekraïne die heeft nog niet eens het potentie van eigen leger om een deukje in Rusland te doen. En zij hebben dus NATO-hulp gevraagd. Artikel 5 van de NATO. Dan kun je als land die niet bij NATO is aangesloten, kun je hulp gaan vragen aan NATO. Of ze je kunnen helpen. Dus het is onvoorstelbaar, maar dit gebeurt. En Rusland heeft dit nog niet eens ingezet. Ja? Ze kunnen ook mensen uit Kazachstan naar Oekraïne toesturen, Tajikistan, Armenië, weet ik veel wie, die dus in dit clubje zit. Ja. Dus laten we hopen dat het niet zo ver komt. Maar Rusland heeft dit nog altijd achter de hand. Hè? Terwijl wij als Westen allerlei NATO-dingen aan Oekraïne faciliteren. Ja? Dus dit zou een korte live zijn. This would be a short live. So I'm just showing you the card that Russia still has. You know, they are within the Collective Security Treaty Organization, which is the Russian version of NATO, right? And they can still use this as a joker in the card of decks, right? Ja, mensen, Rusland is niet zomaar te verslaan. En het is niet dat ik pro-Poetin ben of zoiets. Nee, we kijken alleen naar het aantal inwoners van die twee landen. Ja? Daar kijken we naar. Rusland heeft substantieel meer inwoners dan Oekraïne. En als we nou gaan kijken naar hoe het conflict kan uitbreiden. We zien dus dat er dus ook raketten in Polen terechtkomen. Ja. Van Oekraïne zijn die raketten meestal. Ja, en zo proberen ze dus ook Polen erin te sleuren. Ja. So Poland, maybe that will be the next country because bombs are falling in Poland. There were like, I believe, 20 odd farmers killed at the border. And, you know, these missiles are from Ukraine, but Ukraine is trying to blame Russia for these missiles, right? They also did it in Moldova. You guys remember that? So this is happening, people. We got to keep our eyes open and, you know, look at what's happening in the world. So, we gaan even kijken naar de aanval van de Houthis. Of de tegenaanval van Amerika en zoiets. Zo. Wacht even. Ik moet eerst even de video gaan. Ja, wie weet, misschien wordt er nog een lange uitzending. Ja, dat was eigenlijk niet de bedoeling, maar goed. Hier, UK or US-UK airstrikes in Yemen. So.
Brilliant. On Thursday evening, the US and UK launched joint airstrikes against the Houthis, an Iran-backed militia who control most of western Yemen. This comes after months of attacks from the Houthis against commercial ships transiting through the Red Sea, disrupting Euro-Asian trade and undermining America's role as the world's maritime police. So in this video, we're going to look at the strikes, how Iran and the Houthis might respond, and whether this marks another rung on the slightly terrifying ladder of escalation. Before we start, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing and ringing the bell to stay in the loop and be notified when we release new videos. So let's start with a quick recap of what's happening in the Red Sea and why the US and the UK intervened. Essentially, most of western Yemen is currently controlled by the Houthis, an Iran-backed militia who've been fighting a war against Yemeni government forces, backed by Saudi Arabia, for the past few years. Today, they control most of Yemen's population centres, including the capital Sana'a, and almost all of what used to be North Yemen before Yemen's unification in 1990. Anyway, since declaring war on Israel in October, the Houthis have been attacking both commercial and military ships transiting through the Red Sea and the Bab al-Mandab Strait, which connects the Red Sea to the Arabian Sea. As we've detailed in previous videos, the Red Sea is a super important international trade route for essentially two reasons. First, most oil and liquefied natural gas from Arab countries going to Europe goes out the Persian Gulf, around the Arabian Peninsula, through the Red Sea into Europe. Second, most goods going from China and other East Asian countries to Europe also go through the Red Sea. Europe imports a lot of oil and buys a lot of stuff from China, which is why something like 30% of global container traffic goes through the sea. The frequency of these attacks escalated in December, prompting 4 of the big shipping companies to announce that they would no longer sail through the Red Sea. In practice, this means that ships going to Europe will now have to sail around Africa via the Cape of Good Hope, which adds something like 3,000 nautical miles to the journey and will make European imports slightly more expensive. Unsurprisingly, this didn't go down well in Europe. But it's also an issue for Egypt, which relies on Suez Canal tolls for a significant fraction of its foreign currency, and the US, which has traditionally been responsible for guaranteeing maritime trade through the Red Sea and elsewhere. A few days later, the US announced an international maritime coalition to protect ships transiting through the region, in an attempt to convince commercial tankers to continue using the strait and bring down global shipping costs. Unfortunately for the West, this didn't really work. The Houthis continued to hassle ships passing through the Red Sea, and most big shipping companies said they would still avoid the Red Sea. Realizing that their current plan wasn't working, the West apparently decided they needed to do something more drastic to deter the Houthis. So, late on Thursday, a US-led coalition struck over 60 military targets at 16 Houthi-controlled locations in Yemen, including command and control nodes, munitions depots, launching systems, production facilities, and air defense radar systems. The operation was supported by Australia, Bahrain, Canada, Denmark, Germany, the Netherlands, New Zealand, and South Korea.
Yep, we also supported this action against the Houthis. Man, what a world, what a world. Hope you're doing good, Rogier. Thanks for this, for the English. Found you on Coda's channel. Yeah, it's nice to see you drop by, Jim. You know, we're giving geopolitics and stuff like that. Now, this is supposed to be a short episode. How do you call it? Because tomorrow we will be back and we'll give a lot of geopolitics and stuff like that. So we have the Taiwan elections going on. I believe it's today, right? The 13th. I gotta look that up. Taiwan elections. You guys can look with me because it's pretty recent, you know, Taiwan elections. So let's see. Here, 1 hour ago. You see, it's today. Yeah, Taiwan elections are today. See, there's so much going on in the world, and you tend to forget stuff. But this is on RHTVLive's radar, right? So very, very important what's happening in Taiwan. You have basically 2 political parties, and one party is very independent, right? And they don't want to choose for China. And the other party is pro-China, basically. So, elections show Taiwan is not governed by China. Let's see if we can get some images. That's also something. Crazy how much it costs for you to heat your home. Yeah, it's very crazy. You know, they're suppressing us. Yeah. So we're going to take a look at some images from Taiwan. At least see if we can get some images. Wait. Taiwan news there. So my Taiwanese is very, very bad, but we're going to show you guys some Taiwan news. And I bet it's about the elections.
况之下，声势又拉得很高的情况之下，就造成了一些负面的影响。那当然就影响到了侯友宜在新北市的得票，也影响到包括蓝营在传统的他的票仓得到的票数。
好的，那么继续呢，我们从镜面上。
There, that's better. DPP Lai Ching-te wins Taiwan's presidential election. I believe that's the party that's very independent.
It will affect ties with China.
Oh, wait.
Well, more on this hour's breaking news. Lai Ching-te has won Taiwan's presidential election, representing the Democratic Progressive Party. The election has drawn global attention for how it will affect ties with China, which claims Taiwan as its own. It will be a historic third term for the Democratic Progressive Party.
That's a good thing, right? Or is it a bad thing? I don't know. Because the whole Taiwan situation is also a pressure point, right? For maybe an escalation for war. You know, it's a pressure point, as there are many pressure points on this planet. Nagorno-Karabakh was one of them, right? Which was a region in Azerbaijan controlled by Armenia. And Nagorno-Karabakh was one of those pressure points, but that is solved. So, and Kashmir region is also a pressure point. You basically have three countries claiming that the Kashmir region is theirs. You have Afghanistan claiming it's theirs, Pakistan claiming it's theirs, and India claiming it's theirs, and China also claims it's theirs. You know, it's this region here, Jammu and Kashmir. So that's a pressure point. And we also have Taiwan as a pressure point. And another pressure point would be up north and South Korea, right? That would also be a pressure point. And yeah, 2 years ago, we said the Red Sea would be a pressure point. And also we warned of the Gulf of Oman, right? So we keep the situation under control and try to do our best to give news. Yeah. But I think I've said enough for now. We will be back tomorrow. And I thank you all for watching. And of course, sharing this important information. Because as Alex Jones said, we are the tip of the spear, right? Giving you information about geopolitics. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.